Organizations don't change ever. It's the people who either change or don't. As a consultant, you know that the people side of change is what's often ignored by the leaders. This is what explains the 75% failure rate. And it's why our Culture Builder Toolkit includes the 3 focus areas for the human element of change, which include personal resiliency, change leadership, and change management.
It's all about what makes people want to change. So what are examples of what people want during change? This is an important insight for leaders who often give people the exact opposite of what it is they really want and need during change. So what do people want during change? Empathy. Change triggers emotion. People want understanding. They want to talk about how it's going, what's the mood. They want information, lots of it, even if we don't really know. They want involvement, earlier is better. They want to see the big picture, they want to understand the reasons why. What do they often get during change? They get facts overload, impatience, autocratic behavior, thou shalt, avoidance or silence, so business as usual, common strategy during a reorganization. Rah, 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 this change is good for you. Told what to do with unreasonable timeframes. Often you give them details on the plan after it's fully baked, where they've had absolutely no say or involvement. The number one tip we give people to address the human element of change is ask more and tell less. Find a way to turn your change into a dialogue versus a monologue.
Okay, let's take a deeper look at the 3 human elements. The first is personal resiliency, which is about expanding individual leaders' flexibility during all this ambiguity and constant change. The second is change management, which is to minimize the negative impact and distraction during change so that you can restore productivity. While this is more familiar with leaders, they often don't get the motivation factor within it. And finally, the third is change leadership, which is about strengthening relationships, motivation, and positive reinforcement for the behaviors you want to see change.
Personal resiliency. Every change starts with one person and a spark. The desire inside, I see the need for something different. I want to lead this. I want to be part of something great. As Gandhi famously said, you must be the change you want to see in the world. It's not enough to just want the change, you have to be it. Of the 7 characteristics of personal resiliency, the first one that a change leader needs to get right is connection to purpose. What's the larger meaning for you of why you want to lead this change? It can be as simple as, I want to have a high-performing team, or as noble as, I want to create an organization that has competitive advantage in the market. Without a connection to a nobler purpose, it's harder to endure the marathon of making change work.
Let's look at the difference between change management and change leadership. Change management is about managing the activities and the environment of the change, whereas change leadership is about leading people during change. Organizational behavior versus leadership behavior. Process tools, relationship skills. So the goal of change management is minimizing disruption while maximizing productivity. The change leader asks, is anyone following my lead? A great example of this difference occurred in a company we worked inside of where they had every known change management tool, template, model, PowerPoint slide, movie times 10, and yet their initiatives often floundered. The only difference we could see between success and failure was they put so much attention on the process and not enough on the relationships.
The Culture Builder Toolkit is filled with examples, models, checklists, and tools to navigate the 4 stages of change and the 3 focus areas to address the human element of change. Our goal is to make cultural change simpler, easier, and a whole lot more likely to succeed. Check it out.